Tell us just a little bit about this infrastructure project that you're having, because
Yeah,
2 hours away from Houston,
right.
why Beaumont?
Yeah, so Beaumont is a very interesting city. I used to come here when I was in college. There's a big university here called Amar. So whenever weekends, we come visit friends when you're young and adventurous. So we used to come here quite a bit. 2 hours never seemed to be far at all. It used to feel like
By
15
American
minutes.
standards.
Yeah, and as you can see, the roads, and they are expanding these roads. The roads are very open, very wide. Uh, this particular road is I-10, which connects from the west coast, Cali, California, and goes all the way east coast to Florida. So um, in other words, if you stay on this road, you can cross the country from west to east or east to west. And this highway passes right through Beaumont. Of course, it connects Houston and here, Beaumont. And Beaumont really is, the area in general is, we call it a tri-city. There are three main cities, small cities that make the tri-city. Beaumont is the biggest, but there's La Porte, and then there's Port Arthur. And all those are ports. They're big ports. And the main industries are petrochemical. So there are these uh, refineries, oil refineries, and of course, some of the byproducts of the oil refineries are those petrochemicals. And but some of the big companies, like Chevron and Exxon, they have big plants here, and so they're always in need of housing, and so some of the people who work in these chemical plants and refineries actually live in Houston, and some of the companies end up taking entire subdivisions or an entire apartment complex for their staff, because they have engineers and experts in various fields who are not necessarily from Beaumont, but who come on assignment. Let's say they come for 3 months, they just need a temporary housing. So what these companies do is they take the entire apartment complex and turn them to almost like Airbnb type, but for their staff. But now you find that the locals don't have sufficient housing.
Units.
Yeah, in fact, the immediate former mayor had indicated that they need about 6,000. They are short about 6,000 homes within this city alone, and so there's every incentive to venture into that. And so our thought is, how do we add up to those numbers that are lacking in terms of filling in the 6,000 units. And there could be more by now, I'm not sure. We haven't met. They had an election not too long time ago. There's a new mayor of Beaumont, and but I'm sure the numbers haven't changed. You can see straight shots, three-way lane, three-way coming. This road actually goes all the way to Florida. This I-10 connects west from California all the way to Florida. This is one corridor, that goes all the way. And so accessibility, very, very good, very easy, very open, and also the city of Beaumont is actually very close to the Louisiana border, and Louisiana also has, a lot of oil, as well as petrochemical as well.
The infrastructure looks good.
Yeah, you can see they're expanding this road here. Massive. One of the things, the beauty about this country is they're never shy of expanding their road networks. They are almost constantly rebuilding.
Yes.
they resurface, they tear down, they build new ones constantly. And I think, it's of course part of what helps in the economy, job creation and manufacturing, because you need concrete, you need um, uh, frames and things like that.
Yes.
You need machinery and so forth. So we know how to create jobs by constantly producing machinery and materials for construction. So actually, construction becomes one of the main economic things that the country does constantly.
I
Yeah.
mean, and one of the interesting things I've learned since I came into this country is that President Biden has been talking about Buy America, Build America. And he says that the bipartisan infrastructure law that came in was enacted
Yeah.
is about, building rebuilding the road network, rebuilding the tunnels
Bridges,
and the bridges.
yeah,
But
railway tracks.
the most
Yeah.
interesting thing has been is that, and he keeps talking about this, that every single product being used is produced in America.
Right.
How could we, again, I would want to juxtapose that
Right.
with what President William Ruto has tried to introduce since coming into office of, the housing. I mean,
Yeah.
the controversies aside, every cloud
Yeah.
has its silver lining.
Right.
What lessons can we pick from, for example, what you are now interested in here in terms
Right.
of bridging the gap in housing?
Absolutely.
How can we learn from the American experience to make it better what President William Ruto is trying to do?
Yeah, so first, I don't want to say that I'm very familiar with the housing scheme that President Ruto is planning on, but I don't know, and I think everybody appreciates that there is a huge deficiency in the housing market, especially, I guess what is considered affordable housing, and uh, so the national government here, the federal government, of course, sets up policies that target certain infrastructure, and then they go heavy on them. And so, for example, this road construction becomes a source of employment, becomes a source of materials, whereby manufacturers are able to bring their equipment, um, they're able to bring their concrete, whatever it is that they need for the road construction. So it's I'm sure very similar to what perhaps President Ruto is wanting to do in starting the economy, uh, creating the jobs and also a market for certain produce. Now I don't know what exactly, but I'm sure we do produce things like cement,
Yes.
lime if it's in road construction,
Yes.
steel. We do produce steel in Kenya, so those things help. And the effect is that those places hire more people who work in those factories or those companies, and then what they produce is sold in the market, in the construction. So and that's how the economy runs,
Yeah.
because there's constant production. And so it's the same. So this country lives on that. It lives in construction. If you've been around, you'll see there is constant rebuilding. They build, they tear down, they build, they tear down. Of course, it also does help in advancing, including new technologies and the like, and making things more efficient in the process, and so forth. So yeah, so that's it. But anyway, so for Beaumont, this is a very strategic place, in my opinion, in terms of where it's located and the market it can produce in terms of producing the houses that the people who work in this tri-city are able now to find housing that they don't have to drive to far towns like in Houston uh, in order to. Now, also, the city tries, local government, usually they try to give incentives,
Right.
which I think is very similar to perhaps what they do in Kenya as well, so that you do some kind of project, the government gives you certain incentives, maybe whether it's through tax exemptions for a period of time, or sometimes they also help you to bring in certain infrastructure in terms of streets, street lighting, for example, and things like that. So, and that's what we hope to do ultimately, as soon as we start working on the project. So we'll have a sit down with the city, and usually they're very accommodating, very welcoming, because they know you're solving some kind of a problem that they have in helping with the housing deficit by whatever project that you intend to do. This project, like I mentioned to you, is 123 acres.
Okay.
We want to have it as a master plan community. We are yet to come down to the actual type of housing, but we want to do it in phases, 40 acres, 40 acres, and 40 acres phases, and dictated by what the market is here. And the neighborhood that this place is, the property is located, is actually on the more affluent type of neighborhood. But all that matters is that it's zoned for residential housing, and so therefore, the street we need to come, but only that they have closed this street here. Actually, we'll have to go and then come back, make a U-turn and come back. But the road is up here, the property is up here. But as you see, there's massive infrastructure upgrading going on, and that's what tells you that this is
It's
a
a
busy
good
town.
place that
It's
is
a
coming
good
up.
place. It's coming up. It's growing.
I would want to, out of curiosity, and I've seen a lot of land selling or property.
For sale.
Property for sale, but I want to give it some relevance from a more curious perspective. I've seen land selling companies from Kenya always coming to market here in the diaspora.
Right.
And Kenyans are buying land in Kitengela, I don't know where, all over the place, in Nakuru, in Kisii even.
Right.
And we've interacted almost every event where Kenyans are. You have property companies coming from Kenya and telling diaspora people, nunua hii shamba ni nzuri, we'll give you Airbnb and stuff like that. Now, in terms of encouraging, again in the spirit of encouraging investment, would you say that it would be ideal, for example, for, say, my friend Naftali's company, Hyso Properties, to come over here, and would they find the regulatory system here accommodative of companies like those to come here? And for example, in the project that you're doing, maybe they could also try and get it. Is that a possibility that they need to venture into?
You'll be amazed that a lot of this infrastructure that happens, especially in housing development, whether residential or commercial, are actually foreign investors, mainly from Europe, Asia, Middle East, and to some extent, I don't for example, I do have some clients who are from West Africa,
Mm-hmm.
and they have come here to invest, and their target is twofold. One, of course, to make money, and two, the immigration and law regime does have a provision, a type of a visa
Mm-hmm.
that you can come and invest here,
Mm-hmm.
and you and your family, your immediate family, can then immigrate
Yes.
and come and live and work in the United States. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's incentive for quite a number of people, because now they can move with their spouses and their children
Yes.
to come here, and the children can go to college here, can go to school here, their spouses can work here, and they have an investment that is going on.
Yeah.
So, but that's on almost on a very micro scale. But on a large scale, there is a lot of investment companies from China, from Eastern Europe, from Russia,
Mm-hmm.
from Middle East.
Qatar, for
Qatar
example,
and the
Saudi
Saudis.
Arabia.
Yes, and they are some of the biggest investors in some of this housing market, and even other infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be amazed that some of the most extensive oil pipelines
Mm-hmm.
in the US are actually owned by the Chinese.
Oh, amazing.
You know,
And you
yeah,
see, those are the kind of I
yeah,
don't know, I can't remember who it was, Okili,
yeah,
who said, no, I think it was Benson Kasue,
yeah,
that we have to stop thinking small
yeah,
and see the bigger picture in terms of the opportunity that our people can get here,
absolutely.
especially for
They're there.
those who have the
Yeah,
wherewithal to,
to
venture
look
into some
outside.
of this.
Yeah, yeah, and I've had discussions. In fact, there's a time I had a workshop in Nairobi, and trying to reach out to Kenyans who would be interested to come and invest here in the United States. And there was some level of interest, but really I didn't get anybody who really really came out. And I don't know whether it's an issue of well, maybe they don't understand the market, or maybe they don't um, know, this is a place they want to be. I'm not sure, I don't know. But a lot of other foreigners from other countries have taken advantage of every opportunity to come and invest here. So when we talk about the companies like you mentioned, my friend Naftali, yes, absolutely they can. In fact, a few of them have reached out, wanting to expand here, even though I think they're wanting to do fast, be able to sell what they have and the industry they understand best.
Mm-hmm.
But they've also always looked up to figure out how can they also come
And do something.
and do something in this market. And so this project that I'm going to show you is actually a very small way of just having ourselves to orient our minds, that we can actually invest just the same way you can think about going to do an investment in Kajiado, or in Kiambu, or the outskirts of Nairobi. You can easily do the same thing here, and the costs are not very different. I mean, if you're going to buy, let's say, a plot and build in Kitengela, and it's costing you 10 million shillings. So that's roughly about $75,000 or thereabout. So if you can be able to afford 10 million,
$75,000.
then you should be able to afford $75,000 here. It's the same thing.
And
You
the,
know?
the curious question again I want to ask is,
Right.
what is the A to Z? You
Uh-huh.
want to invest in this country. How is the licensing process? What are the
Yeah.
do's and don'ts? Where do you start from? How long does it take? I mean, those are some of the questions that
Yeah. People would
would
have.
be
Right.
relevant to anybody who has that interest. And again, of course,
Right.
how predictable
Yeah.
is the business environment in that context?
Right.
Because in Kenya, for example, you would want to buy land,
Yeah.
but it will take you, a few corners here and there, a few dark lanes and alleys. Could you say how predictable is it for people who want to invest here?
It is. It is extremely predictable. I don't know if there is anywhere. I thought this road would get me on the other side. Looks like it's taking me around. But anyway, um, yeah, that's where I was supposed to be. Walden.
So we are going around.
Yeah, so I have to go around now, but I can just go around this way instead of going all the other way.
Okay.
Yeah. So the systems here are very structured. Okay. And you follow what is supposed to be done, you will get what you're looking for. And I like that culture a lot because you can predict in terms of steps you need to take, in terms of timelines that you need to have. I don't know whether this is. Oh man, I hope I'm not going in circles. Yeah, I'm going in circles, man.
Yeah, the right place.
Yeah, but I have to. I should have gone up and then exit. So
gives us time to finish our story before we are late.
You know, I do remember when I was new in this country, and I would get lost, and I can see exactly where I am, but where I'm going is up there on the freeway, and you are down here, and you're trying to wonder, how do I get up there?
Up to the
So it's kind of the same. But anyway, just to answer your question, it is very predictable. The legal regime in terms of what you require to do is just follow it. You follow the law, you'll get what you want. You know, you don't have to bribe. You don't have to. You know, in fact, you just can't. You even fear. You even fear.
So you cannot even
thinking of bribing. Yeah, because you can be in some very serious trouble.
Yep.
If you have found that you're bribing. So it's very predictable.
How would one start? Let's take and sorry, Naftali, we don't have I hope you take no offense that we are referring to you, but if let's say Mr. Mwangi or Mr. Nyakundi Property Limited wants to invest here,
right,
where do I start, and what would be the requirements? What is the checklist?
So first thing is, of course, I would always recommend that you go and consult with an attorney, right? And the attorney will be able to guide you in the process. They'll be able to tell you the steps that you need to take. So one, of course, is to incorporate a business. You incorporate a company here. And it's very easy. Actually, all that you can do online. Here in Texas, you can do a company within 2 days. You register today online, tomorrow the certificate is out. And that's it. And then you apply for a tax ID.
But that is conditional to you having every document that is required.
No. Actually, they have a template that you go online and you fill in.
Okay.
You know, of course, the first thing is the name. So if you have a name that is available, then you're good to go. If the name is not available, then it rejects you. It tells you, choose a different name. Yeah. And then, but as soon as you receive the certificate, meaning everything is clear, then which usually is a day or two, then the next thing is to apply for a tax ID number, which is equivalent of a KRA PIN number. And then that allows you now to start the process of opening an account and so forth. Excuse me, one second. Hello? Yeah, what's up? For who?
So we've taken a 2 1 hour drive from Houston.
Okay.
Coming to Beaumont, where Wakili here is
You say
taking us
was it paid
to see
by Cash App or what?
his real estate venture that is coming up, and so we're
say
trying
on-
to get through the motions
Okay.
in terms of
I'll look at it because I'm
how
driving.
these opportunities
So
can
once I get
translate
when I stop, I'll look at it.
to something interesting to the property companies that are serious out there back home in terms of bringing that business here. A lot of them are out there trying to get to sell the properties back home, but as Wakili was saying, it is not. It doesn't have to be exclusively about home. There are opportunities here too. So just before the phone call that he had to answer to, Wakili, we were talking about the process,
Yeah.
the checklist that you have to
Yeah.
go through, and we were at the point of the TIN.
Yeah, you get the tax ID, and then of course the next steps are to open a bank account and so forth. Now on the back end is where now you'll have your operating agreement, if it's a partnership or if it's a shareholding type, and of course the lawyer can guide you to structure that as well. But for the sake of doing business on the front end, the government really just wants to know that you're incorporated, and that's it.
And then the rest flows.
And then the rest, you cannot do it on the back end or in-house. Yeah, so this is a street that we're coming on right now.
Okay.
I think if we can, I don't know, they can turn around the. It starts from this intersection here now. The places are quite. This is a major intersection. This is Walden, and then that's a major going this way. So major goes again. It hits the freeway we came from the I-10.
The
Yeah.
I-10.
In there is where the golf course actually expands
Okay.
behind these trees, but it's not complete. They're still building it.
Yes.
And we'll wait to cross here.
So this road connects to I-10.
Yeah, I-10 is the one we came from
Yes.
Houston. Yeah. So the intersection is Walden and Major.
Okay.
So the property now starts from here. If you can face the camera this way. So this is the property here.
Okay.
This is the property that goes all the way to the other end. And as you can see right now, they just have it's leased to a farmer who is doing hay and cows. The cows are on the other side, but we'll go around.
Okay.
We'll go around. There is a levee that was built here for drainage.
Okay.
And it goes all the way to the other side. There's another one crossing there, so it makes it like a T.
Okay.
Yeah. And
there's some nice
on the other side. Yes, we're gonna turn around on that. The people who've bought some acreages and they built some really nice, beautiful homes on this side. So inside this wooded area is the extension of the golf course.
Okay.
That goes inside here.
All right.
So this is West Calder, and so this West Calder is where now on this side, these are the neighbors. As you can see, there's power. There's already power to the site.
Yeah.
There is water and sewage, and this is within the city. So all these facilities are part of the city.
Yes.
And so these people here bought here an acre, 2 acres, and built some really nice homes here. And yeah, so
and sort of what regulatory scheme, for lack of a better word, because I know there are places where you're required, maybe you can put up you can put up certain things, and there are certain things that you cannot put up. So in terms of regulation in that sense,
there's something, of course, we call zoning. These are older homes from, I'm sure, from I don't know when, But yeah, then the property is this one here. So the way we've come all the way from back there,
Yes.
so it keeps coming all the way. On the other side, you can see there's some homes built, but that's where Major is.
Mhm.
And here we are in West Calder.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's between Major and West Calder,
yes. Uh-huh.
which
Uh-huh.
is
So
really
that's
prime,
very, very prime.
going by our standards. And
Very prime.
so you said the property is 123 acres.
123 acres.
Okay.
The other levee that I was showing you is up here, and it's helps with drainage, you know.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm gonna stop here for a quick second, so you can just kind of have a look at
Okay.
the property. Um, yeah. Maybe I was showing you. So
Yes.
the levee is like a T. There's one cut like this, and
Yeah.
then there's another one that cuts
Or the other
like
one that we saw.
The saw comes this way,
Uh-huh.
and it's really for drainage,
Okay.
you know. And so this property touches on 3 access roads.
Mhm.
There is, I think that one is called, I think, Philip,
Mhm.
and this is West Calder.
Yeah,
This
West
one
Calder
here
is-
we came through.
Mhm.
Then that one across on the other side is Walden.
Walden.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so the property right now is just for hay. As you can see, there are some cows there.
Mhm.
These are people leasing the property for the cows.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's a beautiful space. The major road, that's the major,
Yeah.
the one that is you see on the other
Connects
end,
to
connects
I-10.
I-10. Yeah.
And this is
Mhm.
impressive. And so you say it is leased at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. So we have it under contract, meaning we've paid a deposit to buy,
Mhm.
and so right now I'm just working with potential investors
Mhm.
who want to buy into the idea, and then we'll start working with the developer on setting up a master plan community.
Which will now involve, getting the kind of houses
Yes.
that you want.
Yeah. So the idea, like I mentioned, is to subdivide it into 3 phases.
Mhm.
40 acres, 40 acres, 40 acres,
Mhm.
and do it in phase 1, phase 2, phase 3.
Mhm.
And we may do single family homes, which the standalone homes, or an apartment complex.
And
So,
what the question is, how soon
yeah,
do you foresee
this
taking
happened.
off, and
Yeah.
how long does phase 1 take, then moving into
So the
second and
details
the
of
third?
that are not very solid at this point. Right now, what I'm working on is just on the acquisition part of it, and then we'll come into the development.
Okay.
And that will have to have some kind of engagement with the developer and experts who can come and advise on landscaping, on designs, and all that. So we're here to that. But overall, this is probably a 5-year project on average. I can say that. So it's not a very quick, because to get everything set up from permits, first even just so it's really 2 things, 2 main ones. One is what we call horizontal development. This is doing the roads, the streets, the dry utilities, which are like the electric, the cable, and so forth. And then wet utilities, which is like the water, the sewage, the drainage, so that's one. That's horizontal, because everything is done on the ground. Then the vertical now is the actual building of homes. Building, whether it's single family homes or the apartment complexes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And would you then say that within the framework that you're working, you have an opportunity for Kenyan potential investors from Kenya to come in and say,
I've actually, I have a very good friend of mine that we've been working with this place called Sam Engineering. Sam is a such a lovable guy,
Mhm.
and his idea is actually to make this
Kenyan.
a Kenyan community, you
Uh-huh.
know, or at the very worst African,
Africa.
or at the very worst black, you know,
Yes,
community,
yes.
you know, and so forth. And so, yeah, there's opportunities. In fact, that's the whole idea
Mhm.
in terms of when people ask me why invest in Kenya and why not invest here, you know, why wouldn't you want to invest in a project that you can actually come, touch, feel, watch, see,
And
instead of being told of you're shown a neighbor's pictures of a house and you're told sasa tuma ya mabati, you know.
and
You
again,
know.
which takes me to another level that you
Mhm.
know, for a long time,
Yeah,
I haven't heard of Kenyans here or
yeah,
getting into projects like this,
yeah,
and which is really my message that
yeah,
the purpose of this show is to say, like, look, if you're
yeah,
property business, you're an entrepreneur in Kenya, here you have
right,
one of your own who's got this kind of investment.
yeah,
It opens up an opportunity for you to invest here, and even as you sell,
yeah,
and I want to believe that Wakili in the coming up trade investment,
yeah,
the EABN,
yeah.
that probably these are some of the
Ideas to sell.
products that will be there to be
Yeah,
showcased.
absolutely. Again, we're talking about being married to this country. You know, usually when people get married, the first thing they look for is a home.
Yes.
So, so
Yes.
when you're getting married to America,
Yeah.
you better be looking at a home,
Mhm.
tangible. But I don't need to come live here. The investor doesn't need to come here.
Absolutely.
It's just about making money. You can
Mhm.
make money out of here. The people who build all these subdivisions around, they don't live here.
Mhm.
They came, they built, they sold, they left. You know,
Yeah, and that's it.
and they
They've
go
made their
start
money,
another
and
project and
yeah.
they start building it and
Uh-huh.
move on. In fact, I've talked to a few people. Two of the very interested developers are not even from Texas. One is from Florida, another one is from Illinois.
Yeah.
You know, they want to come and look at this project and then start formulating ideas on how to start working on it.
Mhm.
So when you're, I mean, even the developers you are saying in Kenya,
Mhm.
hardly those people own the places
No,
they
they
are
don't.
selling.
They don't. They
They
don't.
just go
Like
buy
like
land,
I'm
you know.
thinking
Yeah,
if Naftali came
yeah,
and saw something like this, I
yeah,
mean, these are they would be telling us when they
yeah,
come to sell these properties to the
yeah,
diaspora.
yeah,
They would be telling you about it is 100-acre piece of land that
yeah.
is being subdivided, and they're
Right,
doing the plots. So
right.
there are plots,
Yeah,
eighth, they are
yeah,
quarter acre, half acre, and
yeah.
I mean, probably I would imagine it's the same thing that you would be doing here.
Yeah, I mean, generally that is the idea. And so people who may want to come to invest and come here in the initial investment where they're just investing into the venture,
Mhm.
but they can also come and buy a home
Mhm.
that they own. They can lease it. They can, you know, make it a vacation, whatever they want to do.
Mhm.
But the point I'm trying to say is that we are not transient. We must
You're here
own.
to
We
stay.
must own this space. You
And
know.
okay,
Yeah.
I've noticed something. Huh?
Yeah.
Maybe if we could, I noticed that it comes all the way,
Yeah.
but here
Yeah.
at this point
Yeah.
there's a bridge there,
Yeah.
but then it takes like this. So this is
I think this was an access road before.
uh-huh,
I think there was some exploration work that was done here some years back.
uh-huh,
And so this is perhaps that from when I look at the map,
mhm,
the old maps.
mhm,
So I'm not sure, but I think that's what it is because the initial work was around this area, very close to this levee, and so I think that is what it. But the land is up
is
to,
all the way is up.
you know, it's up to here. There are homes on this side,
Uh-huh.
and we can drive there. You'll see it.
Okay,
There's some few homes on this side, but then it goes, and then you can see that
up to the
edge.
other side where
Yeah,
there's
and then it
another road.
drops all the way down.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Interesting. I was just curious, and I thought maybe in Kenya we have this thing of wetland.
Well, actually, it's one of the things that you have to go through
Mhm.
in terms of when you're doing this. Very similar to what NEMA does.
Yes.
You have to get an assessment. We've done the first phase of environmental assessment, and we're going to do phase 2 now, which goes into soil testing and
Uh-huh.
to know, are there any hazardous remnants of materials left, maybe from the exploration, even though we've been told that they plugged their holes and they cleaned up whenever they did it. And this was many years back, Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So we can now
So we can,
drive around and see the other side of the property,
yeah.
perhaps, and we continue with the story. It's quite amazing, and you know, our people have this affinity,
Right.
especially our community, Omogusi and the Kikuyu.
Yeah.
I think we can do that.
Oh.
And I mean, probably nobody has told them of anything like this. By the time we are running this, you'll probably get a few calls.
Yeah, well, that's true, and we want to encourage all of us to participate.
Yeah.
There is enough to share around, quite frankly.
Absolutely.
There is enough to share around, and we cannot purport to be greedy and not worry about sharing with our brothers and sisters, wherever they may be, who are interested in this venture. So the more the merrier.
Exactly.
If we finish this project and we go to another project, so that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it takes.
Okay.
But we must own. Again, the idea is we must own this space
and marry the land.
We must marry the land.
Otiso was saying.
Yes. We must marry the land and own it, and it's one of those things that we dream about in terms of creating wealth and
our people love to hear numbers.
Right.
I mean, now we've shown them.
Right.
Tushaonyesha msichana ndo huyu. Yeah, that is hiyo ndo lugha huko home.
Ng'ombe ni ngapi?
Sasa msichana ndo huyu umemwona. Sasa tunataka kujua ng'ombe.
Yeah, so this is the other street, the Humble. So it's West Calder, Humble, and then Walden on the other side.
Yes.
And so again.